Actually, there are two stories about Father's Day. One was happened in West Virginia on July 5, 1908. Grace Clayton, while attending church services, suggested to a minister of a Methodist church to hold services to celebrate fathers after a deadly mine explosion that killed 361 people. And the second story was when Sonora Dad from Spokane, Washington, came up with the idea to honor the fathers on June 19, 1910. Her father, William, was a Civil War veteran, and his wife died when she delivered their sixth child, and then he took care of all the six child by himself, and that's what started it. In 1966, President Lyndon Johnson designated the third week of June to be Father's Day, but it did not officially designate it as a national holiday since 1972, when President Nixon was the president. So that's the story of Father's Day. This is a very special day for every one of us, and at the same time, it's a special day for Pastor Rico, because at the present time he is delivering the Father's Day message in San Diego. He said he is still struggling with a little bit with his walking, but getting better as days go by. As Daisy recovered from her hernia surgery, and so far all is well, he said. So today is the chance, and I asked Joel to keep the kids around here so the kids can witness all the glories and all the things that their fathers did to them. So, as you may know, everyone stays here. This is a special day to celebrate the man who fathered us. A time to adore our fathers, or a moment for fathers to gaze upon the lives they have brought to this world. A day to remember the good times we have had with our fathers. A time to honor dads for all the sacrifices, for their talents and dreams. And children should honor your fathers, even they are very demanding or unfair. And fathers as well should care gently for their children, even if the children are sometimes disobedient and unpleasant, spend a lot of times going out, dating somebody. That's the father. So I just want you guys to hear that. And for all of us dads, without fathers on this Father's Day, like Pastor and Villanueva family, but however, anyway, today is Tatay Daniel's how many years now? 7th death anniversary. And it happened during Joe's birthday. So this is a very special day for everybody, for this family and for this congregation. As a father figure we are. Fathering without fathers can be tough at sometimes and lonely, especially when the yearly holiday comes around. Because then we are reminded of the fact that our tatais and titais are not present. I feel for you all. We don't get the joy of picking up the phone whenever we want and be talking to our fathers about fatherhood. My son Ray is lucky because he can talk to me anytime and pick up the phone and fix my pump on my pond. And he's lucky. But me, I cannot talk to my dad because he is buried at 7 foot below the ground for a long time. So for some of you whose fathers are still around, you are lucky. So pick up the phone and call your dad. Sure, we may be surrounded by loving and supporting family members. We may have father figures in our lives. A father-in-law, just like Sonia, is lucky because I'm here. But it doesn't amount the relationship between actual fathers and children. Parenting is hard. Fathering is hard. We are who our children and grandchildren look up to, depend on, and need. We are their reason. And welcome Dylan and Mamay. Congratulations on your graduation too. I want everybody to spend this Father's Day with the loved ones around you. Because through our fathers may not be here to witness the man and the father that we are today, the loved ones around, we are and always believe we are doing an amazing job. I do hope that we all find comfort and love on this bittersweet day. Reassure each other that we are doing the best we can and know how. And being a father comes with big shoes to fill, and joys that fills our hearts is even bigger. Never forget that our children and grandkids are blessed to have us. They are our reason, and we have a monumental role in shaping them into kind and respectable humans. When it gets tough, remember the purpose of our fatherhood. We cannot give up. We have got this one. Being a father is just exciting as can be. It is not about having the title of a dad or papa or tatay, but rather being so proud to do all the things involved. Have that responsibility of caring, providing, educating, guiding for that precious God-given gift. We all know there would never be a perfect time to fully show our abilities to raise a family, but down the line, we try to do the best we know how, and that is very, very important. It can be terrifying for some moments, but good things comes usually, and they're good. Fatherhood is a choice we make every day to put our family's happiness and well-being ahead of our own. To teach the hard lessons to do the right thing, even when we are not sure what the absolute right thing is, and to forgive ourselves over and over again for doing everything wrong. Let me share with you how I see myself as a father and great-grandpa. In all honesty, it is my greatest joy in life. They are my purpose, my inspiration, my life, my very heart and soul. I thank God every moment of the day for making me for who I am and for blessing me with so much love. So proud of each of them, and especially you guys. I love you all. They inspired me and taught me new things about fatherhood and Papa. Every day who filled my life with more joy than I could have even dreamed of. And I love all of them more than words can say. The influence of a man in the lives of his family is beyond calculation. The responsibility of rearing good, kind, respectful, God-fearing, and responsible human being is the biggest job any man can embark on. Remember that. No matter how old a man is, he watches, like I do. I watch the tribe for signs of improvement. Oh yes, there are many times a father will feel they have failed, but in the eyes, hearts, and minds of your tribe, you are the super dad. Since we are in the subject of getting old, the honest to God truth is we are all gonna get old, whether we like it or not. Aging itself is inevitable. How exactly it happens and how long it takes is subject not only to our genetics, but also to a whole heart of environmental and our lifestyles factors that are in fact within each and everyone's control. As I see myself, perhaps the most often overlooked of those factors is simply how young or old we feel regardless of our age. I believe that having a positive perception of our age or feeling younger than we are can have a meaningful impact on our individual actual longevity. Longevity is not only about living as long as we possibly can, it is about having a high quality of life throughout all age. How old we feel really has a huge impact on how long we live through life cycles. I think when we basically decided that we are old, our health, including mental health, will start to decline quickly after that. If we see ourselves as older than we actually are, it can have a detrimental effect on our health, both through the brain-related pathway. And if we feel younger, we are more likely to be active in our physical exercises and community functions. And we are more likely to be looking to nourish our physical body. Learning to perceive ourselves as younger is not as simple as waking up one day and deciding to feel that way. The concept of subjective age is intimately linked with how we physically feel, our visual perception of ourselves when we look in the mirror, and our outlook in life. I try to tell myself not to be bothered by old age, or being closer and closer to be in God's kingdom. The fact is, we are all alive and relatively healthy at an older age. And I'll tell you, anyone can be really old age at 60, and some can be really young at 75. And one of the most important things I've learned in my lifelong journey of self-growth and personal development is that shame does not get us anywhere. Rather, learning to approach our own weakness and misgivings with grace is one of the most important lessons and tools we can read from our self-awareness. As we age, we should all be aiming to discover what brings us joy and make ourselves feel the most fulfilled in our God-given lives. You know, after I've reached the senior years and beyond, I learned that love has lots of roles, meanings, and outcomes. It is not about pass or fail. It is about connections to my loved ones and people whom I cared about, and the giving and receiving of joy, happiness, pleasures, and fulfillment of being connected. As we age, our whole being became a slow-moving machine. Our mind, eyesight, hearing, and physical movement wind up to the slow side of the spectrum. As we all of you, or many of you will agree with me, our minds tells us we can still do a lot of things that we have done before, but our physical body said, not anymore. You have done more than enough, and every single joint and every single muscle needs some well-deserved rest. Now that I am 7.5 decades old, the image I see of myself in my mind is that a photograph taken in 1970. The frame is a photo shot of our wedding day. I stared directly at the picture with all the confidence and defiance of youth. I remember both of us were very young, early 20s. Well, I know as halfway intelligent I am, mostly adjusted grown man, that I no longer look like the groom in that photo. What I see in the mirror these days always takes me a bit of surprise. It is my father's face that stares back at me. A face that sparks both distress and grief. Then I ask myself, when and how did I start to look so old? The honest to God truth is, there is a certain amount of sadness. And I look at my face as I get older every day. 7.5 decades old. I don't want to mention 75 because 7.5 is a little. It sounds good to me. Yet no, what I see in the mirror are seen through the lens of my current age. Intellectually, I know I cannot magically remove all the effects of aging from my skin and body. no matter what others want me to believe. It is not that easy to make a decision to accept myself and accept aging, but that is reality. I already did an honest observation and took a step back and said, okay, already assessed, this is a true physical change on you. I'm not going to say the wrinkle is not here, but I can change the meaning of it. I practice mindfulness because so many of us are so obsessed with good, bad, pretty, and ugly. And as soon as we label something as good as bad, delicious, or disgusting, it becomes God. And I altered my inner monologue to include phrases like, I am able to move. I have great relationship with people I cared about so much. I have goals and dreams. I am proud of what I have done in my life. We are all proud of some of the things that we did and not so proud of others. But if we really try to tell ourselves a story, a new narrative about our life story, we can all decide what the next chapter will look like. I honor all the things I have overcome, the things I am still struggling with, and of course, the knowledge and experience I have gained through my whole life. I believe that if we really honored what we have said and then make a decision about what we want, we can achieve our dreams and goals we are shooting for. Bottom line for me is, regardless of how I live my life and what is left of it, I bring that many years of experience into that old wrinkled face in the mirror. Believe me, there's always certain amount of grief connection with aging, but there is also acceptance, and that acceptance means from all of those years of life struggles, and is part of what happens when we realize we have lived more life than we have left to live. Sure enough, we see our surroundings differently as we begin to see ourselves differently. There is nothing anyone can do about aging, but what we can do is focus on regaining control of our own narrative and accepting that we cannot stop the effects of getting old. I have now a new version of myself. I have wrinkles, I have gray hair, I got big tummies, and high face, and the face of my father. But I am still alive, learning and growing and becoming maybe also a version of a well-lived life. Realistically, once we reach our senior years and beyond, we do not have that many more tomorrow's Father's Day left. And that is reality. When we have been around for 7.5 decades, we can say we have seen it all. We have done it all. We have heard it all. And the funny thing about that is we cannot just remember all of them. Mentality thing. I relate this to you, not that I want to be young again and go back and relive any of it. But I find comfort in believing there is a young 23 years old of me, always and forever be together with my loving and caring wife. She endured with me for 52 long years, and I love you still.
Aww.
Yeah.
There's Mama.
Sets of difficulties known as brain fog. Have you guys heard brain fog before? They're all part of getting old. Hi, Milo. Symptoms like fatigue, shortness of breath, elevated heart rate, elevated blood pressure, muscles and joint pains, sleep disruption, frequent restroom call at night, attention problems, concentration, memory, short distance walk, grumpy and miserable, hard hearing, poor eyesight, argumentative, but very, very sensitive. They are all part of being old. Some of you, especially young kids, you will remember that because you will experience that one way or the other. Less resilient and don't have the same ability to bounce back from illness. Reduced abilities to carry out activities of daily life and maybe lower quality of life. Okay? Still got time. In our uphill battle, struggles, challenges, accomplishments, and some setbacks, heading to our senior years, be open-minded and express our gratitude to God. Be thankful because God led and guided us to reach the mountaintop. Stay on course and focus on that peak of life. Enjoy it to the fullest. We do not have that many more peaks to climb. And from that day forward, it is all downhill. It is not going to be easy as we have to maintain our footings and balance. Gravity, believe me, gravity will pull us down, and if we are not careful, we will stumble, fall, and will experience the uncontrollable downhill roll. Not much safety nets to grab on. Our overworked and tired body is at stake, whether we want to hear it or not. That is the bare reality. None of us will grow root on this Mother Earth. I'm getting close. Lastly, I acknowledge that a lot of times has been difficult to go on, but I have to push myself to suck it up, to get up every day early and try to walk 2 to 4 miles a day, in spite of knee and muscle pains. Just one more step, I said to myself, ahead of the other. And with God's amazing grace, every day I am able to walk and sweat a little bit. And I don't forget to say, thank you, God, for giving me that chance. Then I reward myself. I pat myself in the back and say, you did good today, you grumpy old man. You just added another day, maybe weeks, maybe months, and possibly years added to your life. Keep doing what you've been doing, and you have a good chance to celebrate more Father's Day. God bless all of you, and thank you. God bless everybody.
Thank you so much, Kuya Enteng, for the awesome, wonderful, inspiring message.